Joan Laporta is going through a rather fast transformation from the most successful and beloved president of Barcelona Socios to the most hated one. It seems like he only has to make a few missteps and he will be compared to Rosell and Bartomeu. Dismissing Xavi, especially in such a shameful manner, has significantly increased the degree of internal conflict at FC Barcelona, and now everything is coming to the point where Laporta could step down from the presidency early, in the 4th year of his reign. Over the course of these less than 4 years, Joan has been responsible for a bunch of really mind-boggling decisions that have already been written down in the history of Blaugrana as some of the most disgraceful mistakes ever. Today, we are going to tell you why the Catalans fans will never forgive Laporta again and why his return to the Catalan club is increasingly becoming a disaster. The story of Xavi's dismissal has just occurred, and therefore Barca fans won't recover from the shock inflicted on the club by its president anytime soon. The worst thing Laporta has done is to deliver a huge blow to the image of FC Barcelona. The news of Xavi's possible sacking was often accompanied by comments and headlines like FC Barcelona equals FC Circus. Sounds quite telling, isn't it? This tweet perfectly encapsulates the absurdity of the whole situation with the club legend's dismissal. One cannot look at these photos dated April 25th, when the club announced Xavi's renewal, without a big disgust. Now it all looks like outright hypocrisy on the part of Barca's board. Back then, Laporta spared no words of praise for the first-team manager. We are very excited about the project, and I understand it with Xavi as coach. Barcelona fans can be proud of the coach we have. We are not gonna look for a coach. I'm particularly happy because what we wanted has come about. It has to be said that the board of directors has given unanimous support for continuity. Joan also highlighted the importance of the consistency factor. It's an extremely important value in successful project. For me, it's a maxim, he explained. At the time, Xavi was considered the best coach for Barcelona in the whole world. To see that we have a coach who always looks after Barca's interests, who always thinks about what is best for Barca, it's very good news that Xavi will continue. Laporta finished. 29 days later, however, he has sacked him. It's a total mess. No wonder that after such a completely crazy story, Barcelona became known as a mad office, where everything can turn upside down because of a single phrase. Xavi paid for the truth. We will try to compete over the next few years. The Culé must understand that the situation is very complicated to compete economically. It has nothing to do with what we had 25 years ago when the coach would come and say, I won these one, and these one. It doesn't work like that anymore. We are not in the situations of other clubs with better economic situations like Real Madrid and other European teams. The fans have to understand it. This doesn't mean that we don't compete or want to struggle for the titles. It was a press conference ahead of the clash against Almeria, and it took place on May 15th. Xavi got sacked 9 days later, allegedly because he betrayed Laporta and questioned Barcelona's ability to compete at the elite level. Now, any new head coach has to choose every word very carefully so that the Barcelona president's illusions are not shattered. The news of Xavi's dismissal shocked Pep Guardiola and Luis Enrique, the last coaches with whom Barca celebrated the Champions League victory. Xavi's sacking? Well, what can I say? It's never good news. I don't know why it happened, so I can't give my opinion. When I go to Barcelona and talk to some people there, maybe I will know, but now I don't know, Guardiola said. And here's how Enrique reacted to the matter. After the match against Barcelona, I said that I wanted Xavi to continue at Barcelona, and I still think the same way. Laporta indeed caused a stir with his decision, yet he was moving towards it relentlessly and inexorably. And now we are about to tell you how Joan, intentionally or unintentionally, destroyed one of Barca's strongest projects in recent years. Remember the circumstances under which Xavi returned to Barcelona in the fall of 2021. 9th place in La Liga, a poor dressing room atmosphere, and a complete mess overall. Ronald Koeman was so tired of fighting with both rivals and Joan Laporta, he eventually just sent the team into free sailing without a rudder. It could have been one of the worst seasons in Blaugrana's history. Luckily, Joan came up with a brilliant solution by hiring Xavi from Al Sadd. Ter Stegen said it best in his farewell message to Xavi about the impact the new coach had on the team. "You returned to your club when we needed a new direction. You brought belief back to our team. And under your guidance, we won titles again. Thank you and all your staff for the passion you put in every day." Xavi's project was developing rapidly and was giving impressive results. At first, there was a leap from 9th place to 2nd place, and after securing the services of Lewandowski, Rafinha, Koundé, Christensen and Kessié, Barca won the Golden Double, La Liga plus Spanish Super Cup. However, that triumph was followed by the first major mistakes. In the summer of 2023, the club lost Matteo Alemán and Jordi Cruyff, two important specialists in the sports department who were in charge of the club's transfer policy. Laporta replaced them with Deco, who had no experience as a sporting director but was a former agent and had extensive connections in the business. It was the replacement of people with whom Xavi had complete harmony with Deco that became the first wake-up call. The transfer summer of 2023 was unsuccessful. The manager wanted to boost the central defensive midfielder position and only received Oriol Romeu. Moreover, Xavi showed no interest in the transfers of Joao Felix and Vitor Roque, but no one heard him. Midway through the season, a scandal broke out when Laporta and Deco directly dictated to Xavi which player should be selected for the Champions League group stage tie against Antwerp in the 6th round, which had no tournament significance but could earn the club some prize money. The story was leaked into the media, but the Catalans officials did everything in their power to quickly sweep it under the rug. Later on, after the game against Villarreal, Xavi expressed his desire to leave the post, openly describing the disrespect he feels every day as Barca boss. "The feeling of being Barca coach is not nice, it's cruel," Xavi said. "You often feel you're being disrespected. Your work is not being appreciated. There is a terrible wear and tear on your mental health, your spirits." Well, you know the rest of the story. As it turns out, it was Laporta who failed to support his manager, who brought him back to the spotlight. Deco's appointment now feels like a wrong move, while Xavi has been named the one to blame for all this chaos, accompanied by massive financial problems. The one who apparently doesn't actually believe in the team and its performers. By the way, the relationship between Deco and Xavi has never been good, so that appointment simply had to be kept from happening. Joan Laporta's behavior resembles the behavior of an emotionally unstable teenager, with Xavi's dismissal being a clear example of a direction that contradicts the club's motto, "More than a club." The world of football has been appalled by Barcelona's situation so much that, for example, Sevilla boss Quique Sánchez-Flores decided not to mince words. "I shouldn't say it, but how badly Barcelona treats its legends. With Koeman, with Messi, and with Xavi now, how bad it is. I hope the clubs treat their legends well. That would be great. This is a legacy." Top Spanish reporters were also fairly critical towards the actions of Laporta, who held talks with Flick behind Xavi's back and thus betrayed his coach, to whom he had sung odes just a few weeks earlier. Laporta has managed to make Xavi look even more pathetic. He made even his enemies feel sorry for him. Xavi is an absolute cooler, but the way he's being treated today is not suitable not only for the club. No other professional deserves this treatment, but least of all, him. As Laporta once said, Xavi is an unquestionable Barca fan, notes Releva journalist Hugo Cerezo. By making this rather controversial call, Laporta has shot himself in the foot. Xavi has always been his shield, his lightning rod. If Hansi Flick flops, the president Joan Laporta will probably have to quit as well, since the disconnect among the socios keeps growing. Laporta's return to the power was accompanied by a media frenzy. Only Laporta is able to keep Messi, fans and journalists shouted. While Joan himself filmed sentimental videos with a number 10 shirt, promising, "I'll make you an offer you can't refuse." Everyone knows how it all ended up with Messi's tears and Leo's unwillingness to return to the club as long as Joan was there. It was an utter disappointment in a man the GOAT once believed in. On top of that, the Barca icon ignores Laporta at public events such as the Ballon d'Or or the Best. The story of Koeman's exile from the club was no less infamous. Ronald was informed of his dismissal on the plane, and when the Dutchman wanted to sit down with Laporta, the president refused, embarrassing him in front of the squad. One thing that hurt me about it was that the players were sitting behind us on the plane while I had to come and sit next to him, the Catalans legend shared. And here we have Xavi's case, which marks a complete collapse of the institution called FC Barcelona version of Joan Laporta 2.0. 3 legends of Barcelona were destroyed by Laporta in one fell swoop. The city's journalists concluded, still dumbfounded by the way the club was managed. Meanwhile, the financial problems became permanent, even with the help of financial levers, which also partially pledged the club's future assets into a debt hole which Laporta and his team are simply unable to get out from. Things got so far that Laporta is directly being accused of inviting people with no work experience, but who are close to the president to take up managerial positions. Among other things, the media cite the example of Joan's ex-brother-in-law Alejandro Echeverria, the man without a position at the club but who still has a lot of influence at it. He plans the sporting future of the club, takes part in decisions about managers and players, and his opinion is as important as that of our sporting director, for example, if not more important. According to Barcelona presidential candidate Victor Font, Laporta must leave the club. Given the complexity of the moment and judging by the unsatisfactory results achieved since 2021, if you do not consider yourself capable of leading Barca forward, then we would ask you to resign. We represent a new generation of coolers, and we are ready to transform the club, modernize it, and return it to the place it deserves once and for all. We have to realize where we are standing once and for all and rebuild everything from scratch. The situation is urgent. We need maximum professionalism and experience to turn it around. If we use all the potential we have, we will be able to compete with the best again. Even polls conducted among socios show a high level of distrust in Laporta's actions, with some of them directly stating their desire to see Piqué as the next president. As of this moment, the Spanish giant's supporters are crying and are unlikely to forgive Laporta for these farewells. Guys, what do you think about Joan Laporta? Should he leave, and will he be able to bring Barcelona back to the top with Flick's appointment? Share your thoughts in the comments down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to our channel. Also, check out the new video about Flick and how he will revolutionize Barcelona. Have a great time watching!